Many thanks for joining us. I am Omobolanle Adeshi. Nigeria's daily crude oil production output increased slightly to a daily average of 1.41 million barrels in November 2022. This is according to data from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. The data, which is available on the Commission's website, shows that crude oil volumes for November 2022 were 1.18 million, with blended condensates at 40,691 and unblended condensate at 187,799, amounting to 1.4 million. Meanwhile, crude oil volumes for October 2022 were 1.014 at million, blended condensate were 28,232 and unblended condensate were 187,655, amounting to 1.2 million barrels per day. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has pledged to provide an additional 1 trillion naira for road projects across Nigeria under the federal government Road Infrastructure and Refreshment Tax Credit Scheme. This was made known on Thursday by the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, KYARI, during an inspection tour of the construction exercise ongoing at the Agbara-Badagry Road project, which is part of the 21 critical federal roads of over 1,804.6 kilometers, which the state-owned oil company is funding. KYARI said the 1 trillion naira would be invested in road projects through the federal government Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme. The Department of State Services, DSS, has warned oil marketers and those involved in the distribution of petroleum products to make the commodity available to Nigerians at government-approved prices or have themselves to blame. It says it would no longer fold its arms to watch some unscrupulous marketers taking advantage of the scarcity of petroleum products to jeopardize national security. The DSS said the warning had become necessary following the persistent fuel scarcity that has continued to ravage most parts of the country. Its public relations officer, Peter Afunaya, said the decision was reached at the end of a crucial meeting between the agency and all stakeholders in the petrol supply chain held at the DSS headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. Afunaya, at a media briefing with journalists after the meeting, said the agency would take steps to deal with the unscrupulous marketers using artificial fuel scarcity to threaten national security. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has submitted its report on ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government who failed to render their audited account within 8 years. Prominent among those indicted in the report laid at the plenary on Thursday by the committee's chairman, Oluwole Oke, were the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, now Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Niger Delta Development Commission, and Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. In the report, the committee recommended the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission prosecution, warrant of arrest issuance against chief accounting officers, and sanctioning various MDAs. The committee urged the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the Accountant General of the Federation, and Auditor General for the Federation to jointly issue a government circular specifying strong sanctions against agencies that violate Financial Regulations 3010 for the 2019-2021 financial year. And Nigerians have continued to react to the recent cashless financial policy put out by the central bank. IBrandTV reports that some respondents in Lagos State are divergent in their views over the possible impact of the policy.
Limits as announced by the nation's Apex Bank on Tuesday, to the effect that 100 and 500,000 naira will be the maximum limits for withdrawal over the counter by individuals and corporate organizations from the 19th of January 2023 did not only come as a shock or surprise to some point of sales operators known as POS who seized the move as a threat to their business. This POS operator did not only see the move as inimical to his business, but also expressed fears that the decision to go cashless will be faced with the usual challenges of network failure.
For me, my business is POS. I deal in cash mostly. Like POS is cash. I take cash, give cash, and I know how much I invest on my business on a daily. Like, people come take cash. One person can just come and request to take all the 100,000 at one go. So if you are giving me a limit of 100,000 per day, and one person just come and take 100,000, which means I can close for the day as early as even before I even open business. So I think they are just trying to push us out of business and just saying we just go start a new business that we don't even know about yet though. And it's even a very, very short period of time. What's the time frame from now to January? I think January 9 or 19. I can't remember the date I saw yesterday.
For these respondents, the proposed withdrawal limit is a way to go in order to strengthen the naira.
I don't think it makes sense, and it's going to affect everybody. Because okay, if I have my money, that means people won't save money. As far as I'm concerned, I won't go to bank to save my money. I'll just create one, is it piggy? Just create it in my this thing. I'm be saving my money. Does it sound well? It doesn't sound well. I think they should review their stuff.
POS nowadays assists people. If you don't have if you want to just get money in a quick way, you can just move to them and collect it. But that system may affect them because it's not be easy for us to go. It's not easy for everybody to go bank and collect money or take any transaction. But POS has been a way of easy life and easy collection of money.
The CBN had in a letter addressed to commercial banks and other financial institutions announced new limits on cash withdrawals over the counter and via automated teller machines, ATM, points of sales, POS, and checks, amongst others. KYARI, reporting for IBrandTV News.
Meanwhile, an analyst has expressed his delight at the recent policies churned out by the Central Bank of Nigeria, including the NAIRA redesign to the recent withdrawal limit on bank transactions. According to Wyoming Capital and Partners Chief Executive Officer Tajuddin Olayinka, the weekly withdrawal limit of 100,000 naira by individuals and 500,000 naira by organizations, the CBN will have to show commitment to managing its monetary policies well that will impact on the local currency. Olayinka was speaking on IBrandTV's Business Breakfast Show on Friday.
The currency redesigning program of Central Bank. The currency redesigning program of Central Bank is made to achieve a specific objective. And the cash withdrawal limit, that has not been announced also, it should be seen as an integral part of that currency redesigning program. Because if CBN had not come up with cash withdrawal limit as being part of the currency redesigning program, then the currency redesigning program will have failed. It will have amounted to, in fact, it will have taken the economy back to the abyss. So what CBN is trying to do to say, yes, I'm going to actually resign the NAIRA as announced to you, but it will take effect on social date. While that one is on, I'm also trying to be sure that what necessitated, coming up with the idea of currency redesigning is not lost to the cash withdrawal limit that we had before now. So what we are going to be seeing going forward be a redesigned NAIRA that will address an aspect of the economy and cash withdrawal limit that will strengthen the resource of Central Bank to redesign that NAIRA. So it's basically part of the comprehensive program of Central Bank. And I think they haven't really come up with the other aspect of the program that the they actually need to, advise public to, advise the members of the public, to prepare for. So I think it's a good program that people support.
And still on CBN's new cash withdrawal policy, possible adjustments to the cash withdrawal limit have not been ruled out, but the January 9 takeoff for the policy is sacrosanct. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, said on Thursday. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, who dropped the hint yesterday, said the plan, which he described as a continuation of the Apex Bank's monetary policy direction, has the backing of President Muhammadu Buhari. The CBN on Tuesday unveiled the revised cash withdrawal limit with a maximum of 100,000 naira cash withdrawal per week for individuals and 500,000 naira cash per week for companies. The limit also affects other payment channels, including automated teller machines, point of sales, and check-based transactions. Emefiele explained that the policy is not new, adding that the fears being expressed of excluding rural people were needless. And for citizens to pay their taxes willingly, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has urged all tiers of government in the country to be prudent with public funds. Speaking at an event, FIRS Director of Emerging and Special Taxes, Amina Ado, said Nigerians will pay their taxes if budgetary allocations are tailored to solve their needs and they can see the projects. Ado reinstated the need to make sure that funds are used judiciously and in a way that will reduce the cost of governance. She clarified that the FIRS is not the agency that spends the tax collected, but it administers taxes. Citizens, in turn, need to hold political office holders accountable. States across the country have been enjoined to embrace the adoption and development of a digital-driven economy. Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Ali PANTANMI, gave this charge in Ibadan, where he called on state governments to urgently establish ministries to supervise ICT and digital service delivery in sustained effort at increasing her gross domestic product. The minister explained that the ICT sector had been a major pioneer and a powerful catalyst in addressing the needs and interests of low-income countries like Nigeria.
We increased revenue generation of federal government by 594%. Today, the remittance from oil and gas sector sometimes is nil. Without the remittance from ICT sector, I don't know where the country would be today. It is because of this. Globally, ICT sector or digital economy cannot be under another sector. It must be an independent sector. Particularly, we are pleading with Oyo State government to have a state ministry of digital economy. We so far have some. Imo State has established the Ministry of Digital Economy. Edo State has established the Ministry of Digital Economy, and I do hope that Oyo State will be the next one. ICT today, or digital economy, cannot be implemented effectively under other ministries. It must be somehow independent. It is driving the economy of our country today. It is the fastest growing sector generally.
With all the different agencies, with all the different departments under communications and digital economy, to ensure that the impact at the state level, and especially in your state, is felt, and so that the direction and the objectives that we all have to get to where we need to be, we will get there very quickly.
Still to come, China's inflation falls to 1.6% in November 2022. Details and plenty more news update after this commercial break. Please stay with us.